The case of Becky Bliefnick, often referred to as the Family Feud murder, captured national attention due to its shocking nature and ties to a popular TV show. Here's a detailed explanation of the case. Rebecca Becky Bliefnick was a 41-year-old mother of three from Quincy, Illinois. She was a beloved nurse, recognized for her dedication to healthcare and her community. Becky was also deeply involved in her children's lives, making her murder all the more devastating.
I did not murder Becky. The idea of murdering someone, let alone the mother of my kids, is not any part of who I am.
The murder, a shocking crime. On February 23rd, 2023, Becky was found dead in her home after being shot multiple times. Her body was discovered by a family member who became concerned when she failed to pick up her children. The brutality of the crime sent shockwaves through the quiet community. Suspicion falls on Tim Bliefnick. Becky's estranged husband, Timothy Tim Bliefnick, quickly became a person of interest. The couple was going through a contentious divorce and custody battle at the time of her death. Reports indicated that their relationship had been strained for years, with allegations of emotional abuse and controlling behavior. Tim's public persona added to the intrigue. In 2019, he appeared on the game show Family Feud, where his joke about regretting marriage resurfaced after Becky's murder. When asked, "What was your biggest mistake at your wedding?" Tim quipped, saying, "I do." This comment, although made in jest, was revisited in the wake of the tragedy, casting him in a suspicious light.
Of finding your daughter in that situation. I have kids of my own, and that'd be tough.
For investigation, authorities began to piece together evidence that pointed toward Tim.
Come hell or high water.
Juries expect a confession. They expect that DNA evidence that says 1 in 500 million. We're going to have to show them that that's not what we have here.
Allegations of threats. Becky had reportedly confided in friends about feeling unsafe and had taken precautions, including giving a letter to a loved one naming Tim as a potential threat if something happened to her. 2. DNA and ballistics evidence. Investigators found physical evidence linking Tim to the crime scene. Ballistic testing tied the bullets used in the murder to a gun Tim had access to. 3. Electronic footprints. Surveillance footage and cell phone records placed Tim near Becky's home around the time of the murder.
It's different. You put yourself in the mind of Becky Bliefnick in the last moments of her life, the fear that she had to be feeling. You can't walk out of that house and not be affected by it. And in the defendant's house, we found stacks of Aldi bags. He'd fired through an Aldi bag either in an attempt to muffle the sound or to catch his shell case.
In trial. In March 2023, Tim Bliefnick was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and home invasion. During the trial, prosecutors painted him as a controlling and vengeful man who couldn't handle losing custody of his children. The defense, however, argued that the evidence was circumstantial and claimed that Tim had no direct motive to kill Becky. The verdict: on May 31st, 2023, after weeks of testimony, Tim Bliefnick was found guilty of all charges. The jury concluded that the evidence overwhelmingly pointed to him as Becky's killer. In August 2023, he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The case struck a chord with many due to its mix of domestic violence, the tragic loss of a mother, and the chilling irony of Tim's Family Feud appearance. Advocates used the case to highlight the dangers of abusive relationships and the need for stronger support systems for victims of domestic violence. Bliefnick is remembered as a loving mother, dedicated nurse, and vibrant member of her community. Her death underscores the importance of addressing warning signs in troubled relationships and ensuring that victims have access to the resources they need to stay safe. This case remains a stark reminder of the devastating impact of domestic violence and the importance of seeking justice for victims.